Savings is a culture that people are not used to. People are always used to spending. If you give someone, let's say, a 200,000 or $100 or whatever amount, the first thing that will come into the mind of that person is, what will I use this money to do? Because we've all been programmed to spend. The advertisements, the social media, every platform, everybody is selling something to us. Everybody is suggesting something to us. So we move around every day looking at things that we want to. We see beautiful houses, we see beautiful family, we see beautiful cars, we see nice things that this life can offer, and we want it. We actually want those things. And whenever money comes into our hands, the first thing we will do is to go for those things we want. There is no structure, no planning, nothing at all. So today I'm going to start the part 6 of the series I started previously, and I'm currently in part 6, and we are looking at the book Savings is Not an Investment. I would like to start with this. In life, if you don't have systems around your life, definitely anything will come and collapse whatever you're building. A good example is seen in an organization. You have the HR. The HR has their own system, whereby the company itself, the organization, has a system of recruiting people into the organization. So you don't just walk into the building and say you want to be part of this organization. No, they have a system of recruitment. That same organization has a system of finances. So it's structured in a way whereby nobody just comes and dip hand into the organization purse to withdraw money. Even the owner of the organization cannot do that, because there is a system in place. You have to sign some documents, you have to report to someone, a lot of system around the financial budgeting of an organization. Now, there is another system whereby we have to organize the human resource around the organization. That's also a system. So let's now move over to the family system. If you don't have a system in your life or in whatever you're doing, somebody can just come into your house and do whatever they want. They will come and give your children a negative impression of what the world out there is all about. If you don't have a system whereby anybody coming into your environment, your circle, a system to vet that person or that institution, giving you whatever information, they will just come in and throw anything at you. So life is governed by systems. Look around the world. Look around top organizations. Look around families that are doing very well. Look around businesses that are doing very well. They have systems and structure. Things don't just happen. If you have any misconduct, they have the compliance to actually tackle that incident. They have systems and structure. How about your life? Do you have systems and structure around your finances? That's the question. Do you have systems and structure around when money comes into your hand? Who do you give the money? How do you budget the money? Do you have systems around your life that anybody can just call you and say, I need this amount of money, and you dip hand into your purse and you give out those funds? Is there a system of budgeting? Is there a system of giving? Is there a system of using some of the cash you have to actually solve problems, to start businesses, to structure your life? Do you have systems and structure around your money, around your finances? That's the question I'm asking today. So we've been looking at the book Saving is Not an Investment, and we are currently in one of my interesting chapter which talks about lending. Growing up, and as I continue to grow and become better version of myself, I've seen a lot of persons not taking seriously some of these things I'm teaching. That's why I'm emphasizing on it, that you don't just have to see savings as putting money in the bank. You don't have to see savings as just keeping money somewhere. You have to have a system, an organized system, whereby you know that money is being targeted for a particular purpose. That is savings for you. Now, one of the things I see people do is this: they attach emotions to money. They attach emotions to their finances. I have friends, I have colleagues whereby they budgeted a particular money for a particular goal, but someone one day will just wake up and call them and say, I need so amount of money, or this and that, with different excuses, and they don't ask the right questions. So today's chapter is going to be explaining the system around giving out money, lending out money to anyone, what you have to do if you want to lend money, you want to give out, the questions that you have to ask before you push any funds to anyone. So my name is Henry Obikwere. Feel free to like, share this video, because it's going to help someone, and I'm so sure of that today, that we are going to be treating how to actually lend money to people, the questions you're to ask them, the systems that you're supposed to put in place, the structures you're supposed to put in place to guide you so you can achieve your financial goal. My goal is for you to wake up one morning as you practice this culture of savings, investments, and say, wow, I've been able to do very well. Thank you, Henry Obikwere, for that. I will be so glad to share your victory over this, because I want you to be financially strong, financially intelligent, financially disciplined in whatever you're doing. So we are going to be looking at the systems around learning, the questions you're supposed to be asking, what you're supposed to know, and what you're supposed to do. My name is Henry Obikwere. Let's go. Just like I said, the section 4 is saying golden rules for lending. That means the system before you give out money. So this money that you're saving, let me tell you, people will come. People will come and ask you for funds. People will come and ask you, give me this, urgent 2K, urgent 5K, urgent 20K. I have urgent 50K. I have urgent 100K. You understand? So, but if you don't ask the right questions, if you just attach emotion to it, that's how your money. So I have cases whereby I've given out money and that money did not come back. I know most of you must have that experience whereby someone called you and say, this is very important. If you don't give me this money, I'm going to die. If you are the only one that can give me this money. Most people do it. And when they call it, because of you relate with what they are saying, and when you give them that money and they give you a specific date to pay you back, have any of you recognized that sometimes they don't pay, sometimes they don't pick your calls, some they will even block you. You will not see their status on WhatsApp, you will not see their status on Facebook, all social media platforms. They'll block you when it's time for them to pay, which is very bad. That's why I want to protect you. My goal is to protect you, give you information that will guide you. So now we are looking at the systems around giving out funds, lending money, or whatever. So I'm going to start. So rule number 1, if you desire to help your friend, do so in a way that will not bring your family burdens upon yourself. I'm going to repeat again. If you desire to help your friend, do so in a way that will not bring your friend burden upon yourself. So most of us will give out, we'll have, let's say we have 50,000 with us, and your friend is asking for 60,000, and you know that all you have is what? 50,000. What will you do? Some of us will just carry that 50,000 and give our friends, and will now suffer throughout the month, and that money is the funds that will take care of your expenses for the whole month. And you take this money and give it to someone that you know you've not asked the right questions. That's what I'm trying to do. So you ask the right questions. Once you ask the right questions and this person pass all these tests, then you're free to give the funds, because you know that this person will bring back this money. But you don't just give that 50,000 to that person. No, you say, okay, you give the person what you can be able to lose if that person does not bring. You say, okay, take this 5,000. I can't give you 50,000 because I'm managing my family with this amount of money. Maybe next time, can you talk to this person? But let's go. So that's just rule number one. If you desire to help your friend, do so in a way that will not bring your friend's burden upon yourself. That will not bring your friend's burden upon yourself. So that was why I introduced you to some of the foundation you must adopt in thinking before you start applying these rules. I have seen so many people going into serious issues for themselves, trying to help someone who probably needs the money at that point and probably does not care about the stress it took you to get the money. Helping others is good, please, it's very good. Supporting and loving others is also very important, but I think each person should carry their own load. You can't kill yourself all because you want to help your next friend. You can only do as much as you can. You should provide help for people when they need it, like food, shelter, and maybe in-depth counseling. Sometimes people don't just need money, they need counseling. It's not the money they need ideas, they need strategies. But sometimes they've been programmed to think, my problem is just only money that will solve it. That's the issue they have. So, but the aim of helping others, please know, most people don't know this. The aim of you helping somebody that is reaching out for you, you understand, to help, is to empower them. You understand? So, but if you are just giving out peanuts every time, that person will continue to depend on you. But for you to empower them, you have to ask them the right questions. That's why I'm here, to help you. So, the aim of helping others is to empower them, to help them look after themselves and not to carry their burden until it weighs you down. That's what people do. You carry people's burden until you yourself, you start dying of stress, start dying of too much load, too much family load. We know that a lot of things happen, but you must, first of all, yourself is the priority. Your mental state, your emotional state, you have the capacity to do that. So rather than foster dependency on what we offer people, our aim is that they carry their own cross themselves. Don't carry anybody cross, you can only help. Increasing dependency on you while you help them is very dangerous, and it's very dangerous to you and to them. When people depend on you always, they don't have a system around them that will bring out the funds that they are asking, like a small business, like an idea, and some of them are not even ready to work. They are not ready. If you ask them some clarity questions, they will not be able to answer you. That's the problem. But let's dive back into this book. You will see a lot of system you put around you to help protect you. That's my goal. So this money that you're saying you don't have, there are things taking it up. There are things taking these funds out of your hands. Before you know, the funds that they are paying you in the month, you can't even give accounts. You didn't even budget properly. So once upon a time, a compassionate religious brother encountered a homeless man struggling with severe alcohol. So this religious man saw this young man that was drunk, and the alcoholic does not have any house. He's poor. He does not do anything. He's just there. So this religious man just felt pity on this person and now said, okay, come, and now invited that person to his house, to his flat, washed the person, gave the man food, introduced him to some personal development tips that will actually help him. But do you know what happened? This man felt relaxed because he's eating morning, afternoon, night. The religious man is providing for him. Every morning when the religious man is going to work, this former drunkard will just sit in the parlor and just spread the leg and be watching TV on the AC, utilizing their lights, utilizing their water, utilizing everything, not doing anything. And A month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. This man was not doing anything. And the religious man walked up to him and said, I've accommodated you for 3 months now, and you've not done anything. Now, entitlement mentality now sets in. The former drunkard now say, I thought you want to help me. All these things that you are just doing for me, is it why you're shouting at me? That's entitlement mentality. The religious man had to kick that guy out of his house. So when you tend to continually help people without them seeing that they must be responsible for their life, it tends to make them create an entitlement mentality and a dependence mentality, which is very toxic, and they are milking from you. You don't know whether it's your siblings, your uncles, your aunties, whoever they are, parents or whatever. You must create a system around your finances and say, if this is finished, there is nothing. So let's continue. So this was what happened. This was what just happened. So when he kicks that guy out, he now made a decision that before he does anything, he will ask the right questions. He will not just take people in like that. So that's the story. So I've discussed number one, rule number one. Let's not forget, rule number one is, if you desire to help your friend, please do so in a way that will not bring down your friend's burden upon you, which is what that religious man did. He brought the friend's burden upon himself and he suffered it. So we are going to go to rule number two. Rule number two is this: before you lend or borrow anyone money, please, you are expected to ask them some questions. Before you lend or borrow anyone money, please, you are expected to ask them what? Some questions. I'll say it again. Before you lend or borrow any person money, please, you are expected to ask what? Some questions. If somebody reached out to you, why do you need this money? Why are you asking of this funds? What's the problem? Because sometimes money is not just only the problem. They need someone to talk into their common sense, so they can understand that I'm not just throwing this money at you. There is a price attached to this. These are my hours I spend in a day. So I'm giving you a portion of my life. And I need an answer, even if you're going to return it back, because most time people don't return those funds. Most time they return it after much fighting, after much court cases. But these are people that came and they start begging, please help me, and you help them. And at last, when it's time to return that funds, they don't do it. You see a lot of strategies they will bring out. That's why you must protect yourself by asking them these questions. So in the next video, I'm going to be discussing rule number 2 and those questions you need to ask them. So feel free to like, comment if this video has been very helpful, and share to your friends that you think that are having issues with saving money. These are some of the things that are removing funds from their hands, and you will see that their life will never remain the same. They will call you and thank you and say thank you. Share this video with them, like it, so other people will be able to see this video more. So we'll be entering the rule number 2, which is, before you lend or borrow anyone money, please, you are expected to ask them some questions. So what are those questions you're supposed to ask? We are going to be looking at it in the next video. My name is Henry Obikwere, and I'm here to create tremendous value and add it to your life. So at the end, you'll be financially intelligent, you'll be financially disciplined, and you'll be financially prosperous. You will prosper in everything that you do. You will look back and say, I'm blessed to have this young man in my life. I remain Henry Obikwere. Thank you, and I will see you at the end of the next video. Over.